They go past the white flag. This is the final lap of the race. And there they go, no problem, blasting by Benny Parsons. He got out of the way and let him go.
Benny Parsons, like the experienced driver he is, sat back there, went down low on the racetrack and let these three leading cars go through. So Al Unser leads this very last lap, going onto the back chute. Cale Yarborough's lying in second. Darrell Waltrip's lying in third position.
Cale looking pretty good for that slingshot right now. Moving up alongside Al Unser. Cale Yarborough taking the lead again. They're headed into turn 3 for the last time today. As Unser got another shot at Yarborough left between turns 3 and 4. Coming up on 4. Unser setting up for the slingshot. Waltrip going down low. It's going to be door handle to the finish line. Here they come. It's Unser and Yarborough. Who's in front? Unser by a nose. Unser by a foot. Al Unser wins the race. Yarborough second. Waltrip third. And Petty gets fourth by a 6-inch margin over Gunnar Neal. What a fantastic race, guys.
What a finish. These three drivers up there really doing an incredible job. And then the race behind there for 4th and 5th place. It just couldn't have been a closer finish. Look at them in there now. A wonderful drive there by Al Unser. Great performance by Cale Yarborough. And look at them all. Darrell Waltrip coming alongside there to sort of wave to each other. With the white flag, only one lap to go. Can Richard Petty try and sneak in the inside? This is where he did John Cock before. Al Unser's moving over the racetrack. He can't do it. He's not going to do it this place in this lap. Al Unser, enormous experience, Al. Very unlikely for him to make a mistake now.
Unser won the race in Michigan. Richard Petty, who's right on his tail right now, finished 4th to pick up 12 points at Michigan. 21 points to the winner of the race, 17 for second. So it is Unser trying to make it back-to-back. Unser won the race in Michigan by slingshotting past Cale Yarborough on the final turn, and that's the position that Richard Petty will try to have to set himself up in as we come down to the end of the IROC race at Riverside. But it's Unser who looks like he has things in command.
This is a crucial part of the racetrack now. If Richard Petty really makes a good job of this final part of turn 7 and turn 7.5 here as they go through there, Al Unser's car accelerating away, but Richard Petty is in the ideal position for drafting here, Al. This is the very last chance that he can have to get Al Unser. As they come down here, Al Unser knows it. He's not going to give an inch, obviously, as they come through here, the king. And Richard Petty's making his move to try to go to the outside because Al Unser really blocked him off as he went in there. He tried to move up on the inside, and Al Unser just simply blocked him. Richard Petty had no hope of getting through there.
Well, here they come out of turn number 9, and it is Al Unser who will cross the finish line ahead by a car length ahead of Richard Petty in a two-man race. And there is Gordon Johncock. He will take the checkered flag to finish in 3rd place to pick up a total of 14 points. And in 4th place, Mario Andretti to pick up 12 points. Darrell Waltrip winds up 5th. Nielsen is 6th. Johnny Rutherford crossing the line in spot number 7. And Jackie Hicks winds up 8th.
To go. There is marks on Rahal's car. He hit Mario's tire. That's why there's no damage shown. The tire marks on the right front corner of Rahal's car. The insurance adjuster will tell us all about that. Andretti's 3rd, Jochen Bond 4th, and a good battle developing for 5th. Led by Derek Bell in 5th. Gant is in 6th. Waltrip is in 7th. And Waltrip closes up on Harry Gant as time runs out. There you are, taking a look at Harry Gant right behind Derek Bell. The white car belonging to Harry Gant is running at 6th. You're inside of Bell's car in 5th. And the yellow car is Darrell Waltrip, who won the 1st round, started dead last today, has moved through the field, through attrition, through problems, up into 7th position. Don't forget, next Sunday, CBS Sports takes you to Michigan for the 400. Winston Cup NASCAR Grand National Racing next Sunday, live, 1 o'clock Eastern, here on CBS, the Michigan 400, and in 2 weeks, the Detroit Grand Prix. Back with Bobby Rahal, looking back to John Watson's car. Watson, of course, hoping to be in Detroit to drive the Tolman, one of the Tolman cars they found tires for, and will be at Detroit for the Grand Prix. Certainly like to see John Watson, the 1982 winner for McLaren, at Detroit in a couple of weeks. It'll be interesting to watch Andretti and Rahal in our next Indianapolis confrontation after this one. The right front corner, Rahal's car, the evidence is there, the black mark, tire mark on the right front corner of Rahal's car where he nudged Mario Andretti out of 1st place and perhaps out of a shot at the 100 come across in the second position, and Mario Andretti will finish third in round 2 of IROC 1985.
White flag is out. 1 lap remaining. Hans Stuck is back drafting with Hurley Haywood. Here you see Haywood, the number 10 car. He's closed in a bit. Elliott falls off just a tickle here in turn number 2. Back straightaway. Cale looks outside. Elliott looking them both over and pulls up. Here we come for turn number 3. Let's see who will draw back on the bow and try the slingshot.
Now Hans Stuck is going to see something here. He's back just behind the leading group of 3. Cale goes down low.
Unser's right there.
Elliott high.
Coming down for the finish. Unser using that track perfectly out of 4. Here they come. 1,600, 1,500 feet to the finish. At the line. Beautifully driven, beautifully executed. Given to Albuquerque, New Mexico's Al Unser, winning round number 1 of the International Race of Champions. Leave a lap to go, this time by. White flag is out. Al Unser Jr. in front. Ray Hall in second. Waltrip third. Bill Elliott is fourth. Al Unser Sr. in fifth from dead last. Here they are into turn 1. Under the bridge. Now headed uphill slightly. Into the keyhole. And Ray Hall draws away from Waltrip, but Elliott closes in. Last lap.
Elliott may just try that move. He certainly wouldn't know where he wants to make it.
Downhill off that slight negative camber turn. Long straightaway here. Flat foot right through this corner. You never lift.
Fastest section of the course.
Down for the S's. Al Unser Jr. has dominated it. We're going to have a new winner in the International Race of Champions. It's going to be 24-year-old Al Unser Jr. Interval down to 2 8/10 of a second. Ray Hall isn't quitting. There's the interval another time. Ray Hall drawing away, leaving Waltrip and Elliott back there to decide what they want to do about 3rd and 4th. Last lap. Total domination today for Al Unser Jr. In fact, for the Unser family, superlative performance by his dad out of the rear of the field. Around the carousel turn for the final time. Headed down in front of the pits. Start-finish line area coming up. Checkered flag is down. Al Unser Jr. has won round 2 of the International Race of Champions. Elliott closes up on Waltrip as they come across the line, but couldn't get by him. So Ray Hall is in second, Waltrip third, Elliott fourth, Al Unser Sr. in fifth. We'll be back to meet the winners after these messages. Time running out. Last lap, and in front, Unser Jr. Right there, Elliott.
Al Unser Jr. is going to be undefeated in IROC Road Racing competition if he pulls this one off.
That's right. He won at Mid-Ohio. Yeah. Here he is around turn 2, coming up the hill. Al Unser Jr. out in front. Elliott in that second position.
Oh, getting a run on him.
And as you come up that hill, you just keep your foot down and keep gaining speed all the way up. All right, Elliott is there. Here they come to that very critical turn. Out to the outside comes Elliott. This is going to be a braking contest right here. Down they come, downhill. It's Unser Jr. on the inside. Elliott is on the outside in the white car. They're still side by side. Here they come for that next corner, and Unser gets the block. Now to the other side, moves the Elliott machine, number 1. Tremendous finish here in IROC. Great road racing.
What a try by you. The outside pass, the most difficult kind of pass in all of automobile racing, was almost pulled off by Bill Elliott there. It's not over yet. There's a right-hander coming up before they head for the start-finish strike.
And that track fell away in that area where Elliott laid it on the line. Last turn, last shot. Here they come to the line. Give the win to the car of Al Unser Jr., number 6. Elliott comes across in second. Waltrip will come home in third. And Bobby Ray Hall will wind up this 4th race in 4th. Let's take a look at that critical move on that sweeping downhill negative camber corner where Elliott gave such a great performance. Now we're going to look at turn 6. Here they are coming out of turn 6.
There's the move. Elliott trying way wide, gets out of the grass, loses a bite there. What I'd like to see is that tremendous battle coming through turn 4, downhill. The performance there by Unser Jr. and by Elliott simply outstanding. We'll get back to that in a moment, and we'll meet the winner, Al Unser Jr., after we pause for these messages.
Michael is having a freakier and freakier ride now as he tries to hold off Little Al with 1 lap to go.
Little Al's got to try it really hard. This is the last lap. But, Sam, that's an indication of the brakes locking up of what you said earlier. They're heavy cars. These guys drive these cars to about 110% of their capabilities. Not saying anything bad about the cars because they're fine race cars. It's just that they are 3,500-pound cars. The brakes catch holy heck sometimes.
Oh, they're terrific cars. All right, now with only about 3/4 of a lap to go, really, Little Al has maybe 2-3 serious opportunities left to make a pass, and he's obviously thinking as hard as he can in there. Michael's going to try to keep him at bay. 3rd place may not seem like that much. It could be the decider down the road and who wins the IROC championship.
Isn't it fascinating to note that we might be looking forward to about 25 years of this kind of racing between Michael Andretti and Al Unser Jr.?
By golly, they should. Jim, they're both fine race drivers. They're both young. They have a great future ahead of them. Many, many good years that they could be looking at. And there's Ray Hall quite a bit out in front right now. Comfortable, not going to make a mistake. There's young Wally, who's done a very good job behind him, quite a ways behind. No possible passes coming there without Ray Hall making a mistake. There's the race. 3rd and 4th place. Little Michael, or Michael Andretti, Little Al Unser. That's the race right now, Jim.
And Bobby Rahal in the lead was 3rd in the International Racing Champions Series in '85, 7th a year ago. The only time he ever won a race in the series, it was here at Mid-Ohio 2 years ago. He was 2nd here last year, and here he comes for the checkered flag. Dallenbach is going to be satisfied with 2nd place, and Michael Andretti is going to hold off Al Unser Jr. to finish 3rd. There he goes. Al makes the pass just a little bit too late.
He just waves to him. He knows he got held off, and that is a pretty neat show.
They both did a good job. They both drove very hard, and it ended up being very clean competition between the two of them.
And a very big day for young Wally Dallenbach at 24 years old. He demonstrated a very cool head all day long, and I think he's come away with a lot of...
Okay, Unser, if you were running 2nd instead of your nephew there, what would you do to Darrell Waltrip with less than 2 laps to go?
I would be doing exactly what Little Al is, just feel it all around. He's just trying to, when he goes high like that, he's trying to pull Darrell's rear end a little bit loose and get it around. Now they're only coming with 1 lap to go. Let's see what
the white flag is out. It looks to be a 2-car battle between Darrell Waltrip and Al Unser Jr., but they're closing again in turn 2, Sam.
And traditionally, Jack, in NASCAR, you do not want to be the leader going on to that last lap, and yet Darrell Waltrip, the NASCAR expert, has taken the chance that he will lead that last lap, leaving himself vulnerable possibly to a draft by Al Unser Jr.
There is the differential between 1st and 4th position. It looks as if it will go down slowly to a battle to the strike between Al Unser Jr. and Darrell Waltrip. Unser Jr. goes to the high side in turn 4. Will he maintain the momentum to the stripe? Waltrip pedaling as fast as he can, goes downstairs, comes to the line. Who will win it? It will be Unser. Unser Jr. takes the checkered flag and the victory. Waltrip finishes in 2nd position. What an unbelievable finish. He used the draft to his advantage, and then he just battled on the high side and took the victory. Cold or no cold, he's done it.
Jack, this is one of the best IROC races we've seen. I don't mean just because my nephew won it, but Little Al, when he was playing up on the outside of Darrell there, he was feeding the racetrack out. He was trying to find a place to pass, and by golly, that's what he did.
And what a time for the Hunt and Peck to pay off on the last lap. There he is, a smiling Al Unser Jr., taking the victory in round 3 here at Michigan International Speedway in the International Race of Champions number 11.
On to the pit straight, Al Unser Jr. sees and acknowledges the white flag with just now 1 lap to go, separating Little Al from his 2nd IROC championship and $200,000 in prize money.
Scott Pruitt got down. He's down about 1 second behind Paul, but that second's going to be hard to get 1 lap. Little Al is very secure where he is. If he doesn't have any problems now, he should be able to come home a winner, but Scott Pruitt's just going to try hard, and I don't think it's going to work.
Al, but Bobby, you say that, and we saw how secure Jeff
cars that have not had any tire problems all day. Danny started on the pole, jumped him on the start, got a real good start. There's the white flag for him. If he doesn't have any bad tire problems the rest of this lap, he's going to be our winner this time.
Remember, he is the defending national champion in IndyCars, Danny Sullivan, and adding this win in a different form of competition, really a big day for him, especially here at this track, which he partly owns.
Danny Sullivan, a final pass down the backside of the circuit here, lanes it into the corners, unchallenged now. And just ahead lies the checkered flag as Danny Sullivan picks up the victory at Pennsylvania International Raceway here near NASCAR. His team owner, Roger Penske, watching from the sidelines. This is one superlative victory. We'll be back to talk to Danny after this.
White flag is out, and hugging the apex of that corner was Scott Pruitt. He tries to gather it back up after almost going off the course, but Al Unser Jr. rides to the outside into turn number 1. Pruitt in the black car, trailing, losing valuable time in turn number 6. There is less than 2 miles to go in this IROC race.
Pruitt's move came a lap ago, and it wasn't good enough. It came as they went down into turn 1. That was the closest he was going to get, from the looks of it, to Al Unser.
By the gap you see right now, you can see that mistake cost him a little bit. And when you have two cars that are so competitive, as those two are right there, so equal, hey, just every bit of it makes the difference.
The equality comes into play. You can't make it back up by just mashing the accelerator. Any miscue is very costly. When you measure competition in seconds and scant inches, as we have here in the IROC competition, Al Unser Jr. is rounding out of the loop towards turn number 6, looking for the checkered flag. Pruitt trying everything he possibly can to take the victory away from him.
That's a little short straightaway in the back. Now they come into a left-hand turn very fast. There's not a lot of passing right there. And there's Terry Labonte, Jack.
Terry Labonte, who is trying to sail to his first IROC championship. As we come to turn number 7, it is Al Unser Jr. with a 5-car length advantage. He skids the car beneath the checkered flag. It will drop. At Albuquerque, New Mexico's Al Unser Jr., he acknowledges the checkered flag. Scott Pruitt will finish second. And rounding out of turn 7, there is your IROC champion for 1989 in the cream-colored car, Terry Labonte.
The chance to use a little help from Al Unser behind him and come across the line. But will Al Unser actually help Elliott? Is there a battle between the disciplines?
Elliott passed Scott Pruitt right on the outside, right here, just a few laps ago.
See, Pruitt made a defensive move, didn't he, Bobby? He came down as they came into that tri-oval D there. He didn't want to surrender the lead. Interesting, because he obviously has decided to stick it out in the lead as long as he can.
Well, it's good defensive driving that he did.
Scott Pruitt with his final pass down the back stretch. As Scott Pruitt now holding on, here is Elliott to the outside. The yellow flag flying for a moment at the start-finish line. Elliott, there is Elliott going way high. Scott Pruitt continues to hold on. Scott Pruitt holding on now. And here comes Elliott with a charge, but it's going to be a little late as Scott Pruitt, if he can protect the position to the line, the checkered flag goes to Scott Pruitt, and he's picked up the win. And a remarkable achievement. Scotty Pruitt wins at Daytona.
And he had won, of course, 2 years ago at Riverside, a different form of racing altogether. So Pruitt now, the cornerstone of much of his career, is starting to be his achievements here in IROC.
To beat the NASCAR's best, Sam and Paul, was quite an achievement, like you said, of this young man. I think everybody's going to take a look at him like they've never done before. Fabulous race.
As they are taking a look at the white flag indicating one more lap to go. Rusty Wallace battling with Al Unser Jr. and Ricky Rudd is right in there pushing him. I would think that would be a little too risky at this point, but look at Ricky Rudd. He wants not only the championship, he wants to win this race.
Well, that ruined my prediction all to heck, Paul, because Ricky Rudd has the championship won, and he's still trying to win the race.
Remember, this is Ricky Rudd's first ever IROC series. He just wanted to get into the series. Then he said he was thrilled to be a championship contender. Now it looks as if he may win the championship as he and Little Al go neck and neck down the back straight.
The rookie IROC racer Ricky Rudd battles with Al Unser Jr. as they go into the final 2 turns. Rusty Wallace battles with Scott Pruitt. Earnhardt not a factor in the championship at this point. They come off the final corner and scream for the line. Ricky Rudd looking for racing room down low as he challenges Al Unser Jr., but Al Unser Jr. takes the win and Ricky Rudd takes the championship.
Boy, that was a good race, and my hat off to Ricky Rudd, who never quit trying, even though he had the championship won many laps respect.
You see the discouragement on the face of Dale Earnhardt. Nobody to talk to. There's no radio there. There's Ricky Rudd, who has just won himself an IROC championship in his debut in IROC. What a performance.
And did it with real style.
6 cars run together as they pass under the white flag with 1 lap to go. Al Unser Jr. still out in front. Davey Allison comes up to the outside of Al Unser Jr. Earnhardt stuck back in the pack. Baldwin moving to the outside with Fangio closing up on Baldwin. It's 2 cars side by side, Allison and Al Unser Jr. as they come to the backstretch on this, the final lap.
A mix of road racers and NASCAR men.
Now watch Earnhardt. Now he's going to come out there, and if he can, if there's time enough left, which there isn't much, he'll try to bump little Al, but he's running out of time. He's not going to be able to help it.
Earnhardt tries to close in. Rudd moves in trying to help Earnhardt, but the battle is between Davey Allison and Al Unser Jr. As Al Unser Jr. comes to the high side, tries to take any help that he can away from Davey, and Davey Allison slides backwards. As now it's Earnhardt and Baldwin battling for second place, and Al Unser Jr. leads them toward the line, but can he hold on? Earnhardt makes his move down to the inside, and Al Unser Jr. holds on and wins it. And boy, they were close for second, but it looked like Jack Baldwin. A familiar sight, Al Unser Jr. out in front. Mark Martin comfortable in second place for the moment, and with the championship, as the white flag for 1 more lap to go in this year's IROC.
Everybody will want to make their cars wide as they can right now. So far, no bumping.
The key is still this man, Mark Martin. You ride with the IROC champion if he can only maintain position. Here are the 2 guys that can change it, Earnhardt and Wallace. Wallace and Earnhardt stay in position down the backstretch. The fight's actually going to come to the line.
Little Al winning the race won't hurt Mark Martin, but Little Al wants to win the race because he can't win the championship unless all those other guys dropped out.
They stretch out, coming through 3 and 4. Turning for the line now. Wallace closes in. Earnhardt closes in just a bit. The checkered flags await Al Unser Jr. And at the same time that Al Unser Jr. takes the win, Mark Martin takes the championship. For Mark Martin, a win at Darlington and a consistent run throughout the year, and he is the IROC champion.
It is now going to take a miracle by Mark Martin to wrest this championship from Dale, who you see sitting there, obviously nursing a hope now that he might win it. A very real hope.
Final lap. Final lap is Al Unser Jr.
Dale Earnhardt could become one of 3 men to be 2-time IROC championships in a year that he might very well break Richard Petty's 7 championship string in Winston Cup.
Little contact between those 2 cars. And Earnhardt, the best news is you don't have to split this money with Childress. You know that. This is all your money. Here they come, Al Unser Jr. and Tommy Kendall down to the line. Checkered flags in the air.
Unser Jr. comes for the win. The question is Mark Martin, of course. Where can he come? And Unser Jr. takes the win. Mark Martin is not in position to do it. There's your new champion. As the white flag comes out, 1 lap to go.
Now, if there's anything left, this is when it's going to happen. Now, they're all just about even. You've got to do some teaming up on the back straightaway. The front straightaway can still be a factor if they change. Here we are in turn 2. They start teaming up here, start going down the back straightaway. It'll be a crazy race coming to the finish line.
Down the backstretch. Boy, what are they thinking? Where will they go? What will they do? Remember, you drive this final lap off of 4 a little differently because you don't have to make turn 1 at speed. And that can make all the difference in the world. Marlin looks slow. Pruitt keeps away from him. Robbie Gordon sits high. They come off of 4. Make the turn down in for the tri-oval. Pruitt moves down to the inside. And Al Unser Jr. gets it done as he takes his 10th win in IROC competition. And we've seen history made here today as IndyCar drivers finish 1st, 2nd, and 3rd. Unser Jr., Robbie Gordon, and Scott Pruitt. The first time ever IndyCar drivers have been 1, 2, and 3. So with an early on accident taking out many of the top NASCAR competitors, the Indy drivers set a record, and Al Unser Jr. takes the win. We'll be back to talk with him. Decision time as they head for the white flag. 1 lap to go. Let us not forget how this has played out in the past. Here comes the move down to the inside.
Mark Martin, and he dives in the second spot. Here comes LaJoy.
LaJoy up pushing with Earnhardt. Tommy Kendall right behind Earnhardt. Last lap of the IROC. Al Unser Jr. still the leader. The defending IROC champion Mark Martin is pushing him.
This might be the way it's going to end. Dale Earnhardt became side by side with someone back there, and he lost his momentum. Can he and Mark Martin hook up and do something with Al Unser Jr.? They've got about a quarter of a mile to do it.
Time and distance is running out. If they're going to do anything, they close on him, though. A little help from Earnhardt pushes Martin. Al Unser Jr. makes that final turn in, and he'll hold right down the middle of the circuit, and Al Unser Jr. will take his 11th IROC win and his first at Daytona. So Al Unser Jr. in one terrific race.
Wow, what a battle.
Unser Jr., Mark Martin, Dale Earnhardt, Randy LaJoy, Tommy Kendall. Those are the top 5. I'm not so sure that little Al is convinced that it's over.
I don't think he realizes the race is over, or he feels like he might have made someone mad, and he don't want that person to catch him before he can get back.
You know what? I don't think he realizes he's won this race. He is still running flat out. That's Jimmy Vasser just ahead of him. Look at this. He goes past the pit entrance and heads for the line. Unser Jr. doesn't know he's won it. Well, now he knows. Yeah, now he realizes he's won it. When we come back, Jack Arute can pose the question, Al, what were you thinking?
Dale Jarrett makes it 3 wide. Martin in the middle, Bobby Labonte up high. Final lap of IROC Round 3, the True Value International Race of Champions a year ago. It was a 3-wide finish. Cheever has the advantage, 7 car lengths over Tony Stewart in second spot. Dale Earnhardt Sr. in third. And they are side by side for 4th spot.
It's Mark Martin, Bobby Labonte, second and third in the point standings, trying to figure out who will be the closest to Earnhardt come the Brickyard time. Martin hangs on the bottom of the racetrack, gets a run off the corner. Here comes Jerry for that spot, but down to the line.
To the wire, and Eddie Cheever will become the 36th different winner in International Race of Champions history. Tony Stewart finishes second for the second time in 3 events in International Race of Champions competition, and it is Cheever who takes the win. Stewart, Earnhardt, Martin, and Dale Jarrett in the top 5.
White flag is going out for Buddy Lazier. 1 lap to go. We continue to watch this battle, and now Castro Neves will move to the inside, or try to get to the inside of Al Unser Jr. That doesn't work, and they move on to the backstretch for the final time. Buddy Lazier appears to have things in hand. This group running 2nd, 3rd, 4th, and 5th enter the 3rd turn. They run single file. Here is Buddy Lazier crossing the line and winning the 3rd round of IROC in the 26th season. Al Unser Jr. finishes 2nd. Castro Neves 3rd. 4th is Kevin Harvick, and 5th is Scott Sharp. And the open wheel drivers finish 4 out of the top 5.
4 out of the top 5 and 5 out of the top 6 if you take into account Sam Hornish Jr. finishing 6th. So the boys have redeemed themselves since Fontana, so that should open up a shootout coming up to Indianapolis, Jeff.
Yeah, it'll make Indianapolis just a great race to determine the champion, also determine 2nd through, all the way back in the points. So Indy will be a wonderful, wonderful race.
The last open-wheel driver to score an IROC win, Buddy Lazier at Chicago, July of '02. 1 to go.
Rusty, what do you think Mark can do?
I think Mark's going to come on, Rice, get to my tail. Mark's working outside. He's probably going to try to pull it down, get some momentum. That's all he can do. He's got to get to his tail. He's got to have Rice on the backside of him.
1 car length separate the 2 as they head for turn 3, and Bourdais been able to keep his car on the bottom.
And he didn't lead the whole race. He's earned this right now. He's earned what he's doing.
He's drove a really smart race, Kenny. Bourdais done a great job keeping it real smooth, staying out of trouble.
IROC rookie Sebastian Bourdais scores in Texas.
What an incredible victory. You know, Sebastian, at the start of the race, he got kicked back about the 6th or 7th spot, and he earned his way up into the front.
He came in here today with 3 laps of IROC race experience, and he has held off the series all-time winner Mark Martin You like surprises? There's a great one.